camera, but we're getting into the story. Oh. Let's see. Power 45%. I can charge it when I'm done with this reading the story. The next morning, actually, it was closer to noon. I awoke to find Nobuyoshi preparing to head out. Again, I didn't think this one through, so I'm using my old Android tablet MC's names. Because as soon as the story's done, I'm going to be switching to Calisyn Sarabi names. The ones, or basically switching the MC names to the ones I have on the phone. So, and Love Tangled will definitely be changed as well, because I originally picked that from an OC through my TikTok friends, and once the story they chose is done, I'm gonna switch all MC names to the ones on my Android phone. The second one, unless I get my first Android phone fixed and get the names from there. But other than that, I will set them to the ones from my second Android, which is the one I'm recording with right now. So let's go. I assume that Nobuyoshi already knows the MC's female name, so... And the ones that I'm using is Momo and Kairi right now, so... Morning, Momo. I'm just on my way out with Toshi. As his bodyguard, I immediately panicked and leaped out of bed. Forgive me, I didn't mean to sleep in. I'll be ready to leave in a moment. It's okay. Relax. You completed quite a big job last night, right? Spend the day resting up. I'll watch over the Shogun today. Take it easy. Yeah, definitely. Toshi has like a deepish voice, so I'm trying here. Nobuyoshi grinned at me, and the two of them headed out. I sat there staring blankly into space for several seconds. I felt like I had failed him. Eventually, I realized this was my first day off since I had arrived in Nagasaki. I gratefully began folding up our futons. Only Nobuyoshi was normally there to help, and his absence left a lonely emptiness inside of me. I let out a deep sigh. You don't look very excited for someone who had a day off. Just then, Soshiro showed up carrying food. His tray held enough for 2 people. As long as you're free, how about joining me for lunch? Thanks. I guess it is almost noon, isn't it? The two of us sat down around the tray and listened to the distant noises coming from Mako Salon's shop floor. It almost feels a little lonely with those 2 noisemakers gone. So Shiro grimaced to himself as he reached for his meal. Lunch consisted of rice balls and pickles. Indeed. It felt even lonelier when I realized that I missed Nobuyoshi's warmth. With some effort, I managed to look at Soshiro and smile. Soshiro gazed back at me a moment, then playfully grinned. I wish you would cheer up a little. Do you really make that displeasing of a partner? Partner? Jeez, I'm joking here. I mistook the nuisance in his remark and reacted in surprise. Soshiro immediately burst out laughing. My face turned bright red as it dawned on me I was being teased, and I reached for a rice ball. My goodness, Momo. I meant conversation partner, of course. What did you think I meant? Had my embarrassment voiced my displeasure? I think I'll do it voice my displeasure. You said that on purpose because you knew I might mistaken it. Stop trying to tease me. I can't help it. Your feelings are entirely too obvious. It would almost be a waste to tease you about them. I replied with a grin and I began to pout. I don't believe you. All right. Then why don't we ask someone else to confirm it? That little was an improv. I felt like that needed to be added though. I shot him an angry look as he began to snicker, which caused him to burst out laughing. I would too, Momo. I would too, MC. But, ooh, wonderful. Yay! Glad that was a good choice, though. Believe me, you gotta find a friendlier conversation partner. Wouldn't you like to hear a little about Ada? Yes. I would be lying if I said I wasn't interested in finding out more about where Nobuyoshi lived. And I continued pouting. Elicited another chuckle from Toshiro. The two of us kept chatting while we waited for Nobuyoshi and Toshi to return. What, you left Kagura alone at the store? MC, why did they even write that part in this freaking story route? That evening, Nobuyoshi returned to their room in Mako Salon to discover Momo had grown tired and fallen asleep. It looked like she had succumbed after struggling to stay up and wait for him. She was curled up on a sitting cushion and hadn't bothered to lay out a futon. He quietly approached her and gently caressed her hair. You don't give up easily, do you, Momo? That's admirable. She showed no sign of waking as he whispered to her. He then gently touched his lips to her cheek and lay down beside her. The room was dark. The room was dark when I awoke. I must have fallen asleep while I was waiting for Nobuyoshi. I started to sit up, then noticed a presence lying next to me. It turned out to be Nobuyoshi. He was sleeping with his body pressed up against mine. There was something warm in his left hand, and when I looked down, I saw that he was holding it. His touch felt quite gentle and caring. My cheeks flushed at such an indescribable kindness. I could almost hear him whispering, "Good job" to me. His warmth is so wonderful. I can't allow anything to happen to him. Being careful not to wake him, I removed my hand and quickly slipped out of the room. I was headed into the woods to practice. Oh, MC. I reached my usual spot and began practicing, and suddenly I heard footsteps approaching me from behind. When I turned, Kunihiro smiled back as he continued closer. Kairi, are you here practicing again? You're as vigilant as ever. Good evening, Kunihiro. More practice has never let me down. I gave him a friendly nod and he cheerfully returned it. The gesture he gave me a sense of deja vu, and I found myself feeling talkative. I actually had a recent benefit from all my practice lately. Aw, she's smiling. MC. I'm glad to hear that your efforts are paying off for you. Kunihiro warmly smiled back and gave me an encouraging pat on my head. You know, when I pat you on the head like this, you almost remind me of my little brother. I do? He was adorable He used to follow me everywhere I went. He was quite clever, too. Unfortunately, I meant I really suffered every time he remodeled our home on me. Hero chuckled to himself in amusement as he remembered his brother. He remodeled their home? My concern must have been obvious because he smiled at me once more and told me not to worry myself. I think I'll go with this one. He seems really happy when talking about his brother. He must have adored him. He must have really adored your brother. Kanehiro returned my remark with a startled look. Yes, I did adore him, but more importantly, he meant the world to me. Just hope he realizes that. His smile vanishes and he regrettably hung his head. Oh, sweetie. I should have chosen the first one, though. I was about to say something in an effort to cheer him up when I heard footsteps in the distance. I raised my guard and turned toward them. Kanehiro, stay close. I'll protect you. I looked back at him only, but he was gone. Surprised, I began looking all around. Where did he go? And how did he vanish without me noticing? Oh, you there, Momo. Is that where you come to practice? Cheerful voice echoed through the forest, and I turned to see Nobuyoshi walking toward me, wearing a grin. Nobuyoshi? What are you doing out here alone? You once mentioned that you practice up in the hills, so I came to watch. Was there someone else here a moment ago? His voice held a bit of swagger in it as he joined me in a glance all around. Apparently danger was the last thing on his mind. No. I decided to keep Kunihiro a secret for the time being and turned to face Nobuyoshi. I figured, now that I successfully punished Sugu, I forgot the last name. Oh, that is the last name. I forgot the first name. Shit. I might receive another job at any time, so I can't afford to suck off on my daily training. Again, I should have picked the first one. Darn it. Also, I'm getting pretty good with throwing stars, and I need to practice daily if I don't want to lose that. I was about to accompany my explanation with a plea for Nobuyoshi to wait back at the safety of Mako's salon when he abruptly grinned at me. You never take a break, do you? Alright then, maybe I'll go ahead and practice too. Without warning, he excitedly began rolling up his sleeves, and I doubted my plea would have ever made it past his ears. Still, I'm glad to have his company, and this way, I can at least watch over him. I reevaluated my mindset, then Nobuyoshi signaled he was ready. Okay, I want a little more instruction on throwing stars. Once again, he proved his skill as the two of us proceed to focus our training on that. Less than 1 in 10 of his throws ever missed. I had a long way to go to match that consistency. You're really quite the master, Nobuyoshi. You've improved quite a lot, Momo. Good job. All your effort is really paying off. He followed up his heartfelt praise with a warm smile and an encouraging pat on the head. Wait, why does this expression feel so familiar? That cheerful glint in his eye, the gentle curve of his lips? I dug back through my memories. Meanwhile, Nobuyoshi's hand dropped down to my cheek, and he took a step toward me. When I see that, the pleasantly warm tone in his voice hinted at what would follow, and my heart began to race. Except that tone also sounded familiar, as if I heard it just recently. I could hear the sound of him breathing as his handsome face filled my view. Then I felt his breath on my skin. Our lips were about to touch when the reason for my earlier déjà vu suddenly dawned on me. The look in his eyes, that smile, those strong hands patting my head, they all remind me of Konehiro? Wow, MC. So that's the end of this chapter. Look forward to the next one. I don't know, I feel like reading these are highly annoying. Mama doesn't seem quite as cheerful lately. She's probably feeling exhausted. After all, she's been running around non-stop. If you ask me, it's her mind that's exhausted, not her body. If that's true, then a change of pace is in order. Maybe she could take some time off from bodyguard duty and go for a walk or something. Whatever you do, Mama, don't push yourself too hard. Oh, these boys worry about her. Poor MC. Yeah, fuck the checkpoint. Yay. And that's our last story ticket for today. Because after this one, it's Guard Me Sherlock, and then Lost Ellis is the last one. When Nobuyoshi heard me utter the name Kunihiro, he stared at me in surprise. He then leaned away and thoughtfully glanced around our surroundings for a bit. Oh, did you happen to meet someone by that name? Is he here close by? I had never seen him this agitated before. He gave me a bad feeling. He's appeared here a couple of times now. Well, I've been practicing. In fact, I was talking to him just before you showed up tonight. All the strength seemed to leave Nobuyoshi as he let out a deep sigh. You've been talking to my brother. Rather than joy, I heard concern in his voice, and my heart began to race. Once again, I quickly sift through my memories. But Konehiro's last name wasn't Tokugawa. I'll bet it was Matsudaria, right? Konehiro Matsudaria? I can't pronounce names. I quietly nod. Nobuyoshi continued glancing all about. He appeared to be at wit's end. That lost look in his eyes started to worry me, and I timidly spoke up. What are you feeling? How would you react if you were to meet your brother right now? It wouldn't surprise me if my brother is still angry about being driven from the castle. That is not true. I want to say that. The first thought I had was that is not true. After all, I remembered how happy he looked while talking about Nobuyoshi. If he was angry, it would have shown. Still, I hesitated a moment before saying anything. I was still searching for the right words when Nobuyoshi spoke up again. I have to start by apologizing to him. Then, I pray maybe he will come back and live with me again. You want him to live with you? Yeah, I want us to both live in Edo again. That's the whole reason for my trip to Nagasaki. When I heard that, my heart began to ache. From the start, I never had any expectations. Nobuyoshi was a shogun. It was only proper that he asked his brother to return once he found him. And yet, somewhere deep in my heart, I had imagined he might actually choose me. In retrospect, it seemed utterly absurd. I forlornly hung my head. So you'll both live in the castle? Momo? Ooh, you're breaking her heart. How dare you? But you are so sweet. You're the himbo of the story, sadly. Okay, so that's all the story tickets for today. Next is Garmy Sherlock. So I forgot who chose that character. I think it was Hyde. I forgot which story. I need to look when I start the video again. Alrighty, Showy Day fans. See you in Garmy Sherlock. Bye.